Welcome to Take Your Time. This is third and final video of this series. In this video, we will take things from where we left in the last one. We will integrate Kotlin Flow API and Room database in this video. The thing that we will achieve is instead of showing the list of users from the API response, we will insert the response directly in our local Room database and observe the database changes to show the list of users in activity. If you haven't checked out the last two videos of this series, I encourage you to check those because those two are the prerequisites for this one. And finally, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so and hit the notification icon so that you never miss an update. Okay, so let's just get started with the changes that we made for Room database and Flow integration. First, let's check the model class users. Okay, so if we just think of the model class users, what is this? If I just open this up, you will get an understanding that okay, so this is what the model class users is. If you notice that right now this is annotated with this @entity, and this keyword signifies that there will be a table in Room database named users. If you see the class that is users database, there what we have done is we have used this entity, and by using that, what we are trying to say to Room database that okay, you have to create a table with the model that we have defined inside this users class. And this particular user database extends the Room database class, and what it does is it exposes the user DAO, this user DAO, inside which we will define all our database operations which will be done on the users table. If you see, all the queries are getting done on the users table. We have actually defined 4 methods in users DAO which are directly connected to the database, namely getAllUsers, insertUsers, deleteUsers, and getUser. The final two methods, these two I am talking about. The final two methods are just having an extra operation done on getUser and getAllUsers method. This extra operation, distinct until changed, this one will filter out the subsequent repetitions for the same value, and this method is from Kotlin Flow API. If you see, that is an extension function on Flow. So basically what it does is, if I have same changes, so let's suppose I have the same thing in the Room database that I have propagated down the line to the place where the Room database changes has been observed, and after some time, if we see, there are the changes, there are few changes, but other parts are same. So what I am saying is, if suppose there is there are 5 datas in the database in the table, and out of them 2 has only been changed and the rest 3 are same, then we will only have the changes observed for those 2. We don't want all the repetitions, so we will be filtering out the subsequent repetitions for the same value. Now there is one more thing, guys. What I have done is, I have just given you a quick overview on what are the things I have made changes to make sure that the project is good enough to be ready with Room database. But if you want to learn Room database in very deep manner, you can check out the video currently shown in the cards. This video I have published some times back. Now we have also made some changes in Dagger. So if I just open this DI block, what we did is we added one module named database module. This one I am talking about. Here these two methods are used to inject the user's DAO in the view model where we will do our operation. The provides room method will be internally called by the provide users DAO. When so what it does is basically, let's suppose we are calling this provides. So this provides user DAO method is giving us users DAO, right? The return type is users DAO. Now users DAO, provide user DAO method needs this user database type, and when Dagger will draw the graph, it will ask for this user database type, and this method whose return type is users database, this will be returning the users database to this one here, and using that this provide user DAO method will make sure that Dagger returns the users DAO to wherever we need to inject it. That's the thing we have done here. Now let's check the major two components of the app: main activity view model and main activity. First, let's analyze the changes in the view model. So this one, I have just wrapped the API client get data method, this API client get data method with flow of. This one I am talking about. In the last video this was not there. Now I have wrapped it with flow of, which basically creates a flow from that method. So from this method, this flow of builder will make sure that you get a flow out of this. And we also added a catch block to catch any error, this one. And we changed the state value. So this state value, what I am talking about, this one, this state value. So basically what we have done is, in the cache section, if there is any sort of error, we just change the state value to show error. And in the last video we have already seen that how we are observing the states to change the views accordingly, right? So anytime there is a error that comes and the control goes inside this catch block, the error will be caught and the state will be changed to show error with the throwable that is coming. Then once the successful API call happens, we get the response, and using this map function, map operator, what we are doing is we are just inserting the result that is coming and inserting that one in the database using this users DAO insert users method. And before that, if there is any the result present in the database, we are just deleting. So again, if I just give you a quick overview, if you just go to the users DAO method, you see there is delete users, which is delete from users. That does mean everything from the users table will be deleted, and that is what we are calling here. And if you see insert users, we are just using this one and inserting the users with this method. And there is a conflict strategy on conflict replace. That means there will be a primary key using which we will check if the data is already present. If that is present, then we will replace the past data of the same. And what is the primary key? If you see, the ID will be the primary key, right? Now how we are getting the users DAO in our view model, that is here in the inject constructor we are getting this users DAO. Now how? If we just see, we have just seen in the database module we have provided a method provide user DAO which returns a type of user DAO, and that is what giving us the users DAO here in our main activity view model. And in the last video we have already seen how we have integrated Dagger multi-binding so that we can inject things in our directly in our view model. Okay, so now let's check out how we are observing the database changes in activity to render the UI. Okay, so if I go to the main activity, in the main activity we have this method observe users in database. Here we are just calling this collect method, right? We are just calling this collect to get all users distinct until changed. Get all users distinct until changed method, which gives us a flow of users present in the user database, and we are calling show data method with the users that we will be getting from the database, which actually submits the data into the list adapter. If you see this line, show data we call, and it just submits the data here, and subsequently we show the data in the recycler view. Now what it does, get all users distinct until changed, it is just calling get all users, this one, and operating with distinct until changed. If you don't want to filter out the subsequent repeated updates, you can remove this part also. Now again users DAO is injected here also in the main activity. So basically, just to give a quick overview what we are doing again throughout the project right now, we have this main activity view model here. As soon as we have this, we get the call here in the init method, we post the value loading, and we call the get data. Using get data we hit the API, which gives us back a flow using the data, and we catch the error if there is any, and if there is a successful response we map it, and we delete the database, delete anything if it is present in database, and insert the new one, and we observe the database changes in our main activity using observe user in database method, where we are just having a coroutine scope of main, and if there is any change we are just collecting that flow and showing the, and using that flow, the data that comes, we just pass the data to show data method, which submits the data in the list adapter, which shows the data in the recycler view. So we are not updating directly from the API, rather we are from the API we are inserting the data in the database, and we are observing the database changes using flow and room database. And now if you see that there are collect methods that I have called here also, and in the main activity view model here also. Now if you don't know, collect is a terminal operator. Once you give a call to that, then only flow starts executing, and this is just a basic use case what I have shown using flow in this app. Now if you really want to go and dive deep into flow and learn how things work there, you can check out my flow playlist, and I will and the card that you see currently, that is the entry point for flow playlist that I have created. So let's just run the app and see how we are doing the things in real time, right? So I have added the debug pointers, and let's just run it. Okay, so we got the call in init block, we have changed the state to show loading. Now we have called get data, which eventually calls for the API to get the data for us. And now in the observe users in database we get the item 0, because currently there is nothing present in the database, and the API call is started in a different coroutine scope, and there is no data. And now we got the data from API call, and as the data is not empty, there is a data, we just delete all users if there is any present in the database. Currently there is nothing. We insert whatever is coming from the database, and as coming from the API, sorry, and as soon as there is an insertion in the database, we again get the call here where we are observing the database changes, and as we get the data we submit the data in the adapter, and once we submit it we get to see in the UI. So that is how now things are happening. So that's it. With the end of this video, we have reached the end of this series actually. So basically what I'm trying to say is, with the end of this video, we have reached the end of the series. As of now, I have not shared this, but let me share my intention to create this series. This was to help the Android people understand all the trendy and vastly used topics in Android in a single app, and make it easier for you guys to understand, which can directly impact people to get better in our job. Because after COVID-19 breakout, things are not so good. So it is time that we stay really productive in our job. Anyways, thanks for sticking throughout the series. New contents will be coming soon. Please subscribe. Take care. And probably the next one will be a very new topic. Maybe I'm thinking about doing something regarding Hilt. Hilt is a new DI tool present in our Android, and it's just released. And let's see if I can bring some content on it for you guys. So take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.